Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, did everyone have a nice Easter? Did you all coat your livers in 6 litres worth of chocolate? Did you shove 7 cream eggs up your nose? Was skinning a family of bunnies over the kitchen table? I don't really know what's customary this time of year. My family Easters just consisted of my mother chucking eggs at my head. Have you ever had a galaxy egg cracked on your nose? Feels like sticking your face in a lawnmower. Anyway, let's crack on with this video.
It's Champions League season.
The quarterfinals are upon us, and again, let's have a crack at some predictions. Since we've clarified that I am the utter Prime Minister of predictions. You know, the prime ministers that make love to farmyard pigs. Again though, I have to say, when Leeds United were comfortably sitting 10th in the league on Saturday night, I'll admit, I spent half an hour hyperventilating into a pillow. Cause God, I don't want someone like Patrick Bamford scarred on my body for life. So Grace, when they eventually do my post-mortem, you know, when I've since died of scurvy at 32, they're gonna think I had a sick obsession for football's answer to Roman Kemp. Oh, and before we start the video, quick question. I'm thinking of introducing some watch-alongs to the channel, except watch-alongs with a twist. You know, when I do predictions and forfeits there and then, on the spot, live on camera. Good Christ. But if so, what games do you want me to do? Do you want me to Champions League, the Euros? Let me know in the comment section below which games you want me to cover on the watch-alongs. And alright, let's just crack on with the video. Man City versus Borussia Dortmund. Man City fans, do you feel that sickly taste of pumpkin trapped in your windpipe? Because I'm gonna say it, Manchester City are Champions League chokers. So please feel free to puke blood and Cheerios all over your kitchen table, because it's fitting on Champions League week. Lads, they haven't made it past the quarterfinals in 5 years. Under the Sheikh Mansour era, this is the club's 12th consecutive season in Europe, and all they have to show for it is one limp semi-final appearance in 2016. And if you think,
oh, Pep Guardiola will make utter wet salmon of Borussia Dortmund.
Lads, they've recently been knocked out by Lyon, Tottenham, Monaco, oh yeah, and a Liverpool team who finished 25 points behind them in the league that year, who also had a borderline circus clown stuffed in nets. People sneer at the French league and call it a collection dump for farmers, full of defenders who've recently finished 13-hour shifts, ploughing fields and wiping their cow's arse with a blanket. Well, guess what? Last season, Lyon finished 7th in that farmers league. And yeah, even that bowl of dried spinach relying on a Manchester United flop, even they knocked City out in August of last year. Listen, if this band of world-class City superstars were being coached by someone without a European pedigree, like a Mark Hughes or a Craig Shakespeare, then I'd understand why they consistently choke more often than a toddler eating a sandwich made of Lego. But for a man who's won the damn thing twice, I don't understand it. Borussia Dortmund, though, by contrast, are an utter mess. Currently coached by Edin Turcik. You know, a guy who recently used to hand out the bibs at West Ham and fetch Slaven Bilic's morning coffee. Interim coaches might have worked out for Bayern Munich in Germany, but Dortmund, in 2021 alone, they've only won 4 of the last 12 Bundesliga matches. And considering they got 2 of the most in-demand attackers in the world on their books, and some exciting wonderkid midfielders stuffed in their team, then sorry Turcik, clearly your presence in the dugout is about as motivating as a scarecrow stuffed in a wig. But you know what, despite every fibre of footballing logic telling me to go for the unstoppable juggernaut that is Man City, I just can't, because I've tipped them to reach the Champions League final every year for about 8 bastard years, and each year I end up with virtual pie on my face, so I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Yes, 99% of the Earth's population, even the cavemen in Outer Mongolia who don't have access to a telly, even they will know that you should tip Man City to win this tie. So alright then, if you're so sure that I'm talking utter cow manure, then let's flip the tables. Why don't you promise tattoos or milk bats then? Because me, I think John Stones' mistake against Poland last week came at a bad time, because after an incredible 6 months of form, I have a feeling his demons are creeping back into the wrong time. A bit like a recovering alcoholic who begins to slightly taste the alcohol in a banana. Soon he'll be on all fours drinking whiskey out of his shoe. Honestly, coming up against a £100 million wonderkid like Erling Haaland, I have a feeling that a nervous Stones is gonna perform with all the grace of a mountain goat on a treadmill. For Haaland, this is the guy who grew up semi-supporting a City team with Georgia Sammers and Darius Vassell chucked up front. But this is a very different company to one his dad used to work for. Good grief, it'd be like someone whose relative worked for Apple back when it was just 3 homemade laptops operating out of Steve Jobs' shed. Walk into Apple now, and lads, even the new ceramic toilets in the canteen are probably mini swimming pools. I'm predicting a shock 2-1 win for the Germans in Manchester, with Haaland bagging both goals, and in the return leg, Jadon Sancho will be back and desperate to ram teenage rejection back down the throat of Pep Guardiola, and so I'll go for a frustrating 1-0 draw in Germany. But lads, I am backing this up with more than just the fact that City are bottlers. Lads, think of the motivation for Dortmund to win this match. Erling Haaland and Giovanni Reina, they're dads both used to play for this club, so this game will mean a lot to them. Sancho, again a former City reject, and half the Dortmund fan base will be desperately hoping that Ilkay Gundogan fails. Just you wait. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. It seems mental that Liverpool are preparing for a two-legged tie with the biggest club on planet Earth when they haven't won at Anfield since mid-December. Utterly mental, but you know what? I don't think Liverpool fans will be too worried. I know the form has been utterly horrific. 5 league wins in 16 attempts is bad. It's horrendous, and you'd assume that Real Madrid would wipe the floor with them. But lads, Liverpool in Europe are a different beast. And let's be honest, anyone who saw the last 3 games against Wolves, RB Leipzig, and especially Arsenal will see they're slowly recovering their form to end the season strongly. For Real Madrid, it has not been an impressive campaign. This is a club who, when Cristiano Ronaldo was on their books, used to blow the Spanish opposition out of the water, scoring 4, 5, 6, 7 every week. This year, they haven't scored more than 3 league goals in a match since January. It's mostly been scraping 1 or 2 goal wins. To be fair, there's only 4 points separating the top 3 teams in Spain, so it is a tight title race. But still, this is not vintage Madrid. Considering Liverpool haven't sorted out their home form yet, then they'll be probably utterly relieved the first leg is in Spain. I'm expecting a 1-0 away win, courtesy of a late Salah winner. A bit like when Benayoun scored at the Bernabeu in 2009, before grinding out a goalless draw at Anfield. And lads, I'm so confident of this. If Liverpool don't wind up in the semi-finals this season, then honestly, I will eat an entire bowl of stale cereal out of a used sock. Bayern Munich versus PSG. Yep, here we have a rerun of last season's Champions League final. A game marked it as a clash of the European superpowers, and then the likes of Neymar and Mbappe played like a couple of 3-legged cows. Listen, yes, Mauricio Pochettino isn't an experienced trophy winner, but he does know how to navigate his way through the Champions League. Good Christ, he took a team with Danny Rose at left back to the goddamn final. But lads, I said Pochettino's killed his career with a move to a superficial club like PSG. And lads, in his debut season, he's about to face the biggest embarrassment of his managerial career. And unless he's one of these people who lasted 2.5 seconds on his wedding night, then probably the biggest embarrassment of his life. This is going to stain his CV like a giant lump of dog poo. Good Christ, next time he's unemployed and waiting to return to the dugout, prospective owners will say that yes, he failed to win the French League title with the riches of PSG. Again, it's like applying for jobs down the local bank when you were fired from your last job for pissing in the toaster during lunch breaks at the canteen. Since he arrived in January, they've lost away at Lorient, and then at home to Monaco, Nantes, and crucially, table toppers Lille at the weekend. He also hasn't been able to get through to Neymar. The guy is 30 and yet still behaving like a teenage brat. Again, sent off against Lille, the 11th red card of his career and the 3rd of this season. Why? Just why? Yes, it must be tough. Going on to a football pitch where the opposition's tactics solely consist of trying to break your ankles. But Christ, don't retaliate. It is the defender's job to rile you up and push your buttons. Good Christ, he probably hears on a daily basis that is a flat prima donna diver with a weird Lannister-esque relationship with his siblings. But lads, if PSG finish any other position than first this season, then good Christ, the entire squad should arguably be chucked in a wheelbarrow and thrown off a cliff. It's just utterly ridiculous. Bayern Munich have once again mostly steamrolled the Bundesliga this season with minimal fuss, and their record in Europe is scary. 19 wins from the last 20 games. They haven't lost an away game in European football since September 2017 when PSG flattened them 3-0. But lads, that's nearly 4 years ago. This won't even be close. Bayern will utterly thump PSG 4-0 in Germany. I don't care that Robin Lewandowski will miss the game. They'll still have enough. Ozzy, you're about to witness one of the bleakest chapters in PSG's decade-long history, and after watching this utter 90-minute massacre, you'll all just feel a bit guilty, as if you just sat through an entire marathon of the Saw movies and enjoyed it. Again, in the return leg, PSG will restore a shred of dignity with a spirited 1-1 draw, but lads, oh, this is going to be messy. FC Porto versus Chelsea. Lads, before Jose Mourinho arrived in the sport, Porto and Chelsea never really had any dealings together. The two clubs barely even acknowledged their existence. But since 2004, they've since sold each other 5 players, traded 2 managers, and played each other 8 times in the Champions League. Weirdly enough, Chelsea have only ever won in Porto once, losing twice and drawing the other one. Listen, right now, Chelsea fans probably have weary hangovers after diluting their liver with 6 pints worth of whiskey on Easter Sunday, and don't forget the fact they just saw West Brom stick 5 past them at Stamford Bridge. I'm sorry, but if Big Sam Allardyce is waddling off your pitch, having seen his team score 5, then something is seriously wrong. Maybe Thomas Tuchel will now stop his sick obsession with trying to make Marcos Alonso happen. Good Christ, he should have been left behind in 2017 by continuing to pick him now at 30 years of age. It's like a DJ going down the local nightclub to whack Despacito on loop. Just no, move on. And while we're at it, How come against Luxembourg, Callum Robinson showed the end product of a condom filled with milk? And yet travelling to Stamford Bridge, the guy morphs into Pete Gareth Bale. I mean, come on. Listen, Porto is a tricky tie. They're only second in the Portuguese league yet. But come on, considering Sporting Lisbon are on course for an invincible season, it's not exactly shameful. They've still won 28 games this season, one of which was against Juventus. They're one of 2 teams to actually keep a clean sheet against Man City. So make no mistake about it, this is going to be a tough tie for Chelsea. I'll go for a stale 0-0 board draw in Portugal before a late 2-0 win for Chelsea in West London. It won't be pretty. It'll be fairly dull, and Pepe is going to try to make Mason Mount cry whilst ripping chunks of beard from Christian Pulisic's face. But still, they will get through this one. Anyway, that's it, videos. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Who do you think is going to go through the Champions League this season? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash a subscribe if you want to see more content like this. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.